Hey gamers, welcome back to another DSP video. Now initially, I just want to make it clear, I was going to do a video on DSP's little announcement about the Game of the Year countdown he's going to do. And as I was getting that ready, I was listening to the Meerkat stream on my iPad. I'm like, okay, I'm listening to this as I set this stuff up. And he watched one podcast that it had DSP talk about Bone and Chicken Guy, and he was saying like hyper focus on it, whatever. I wanted to react to that. As I was trying to search for that portion of the stream, I still don't think I found it. I came across a little segment I kind of want to react to. So let's get going, and I'll try to find the Bone and Chicken during this. But if I don't find it, I don't find it. That's fine. It is what it is. Anyways, let's get going. Wait, wrong window.
Kino Casino happened, right? Now, I want to give you guys a little bit of background.
So this is him recapping 2024, and he's gonna tell us how he discovered Kino Casino, his new best friends.
Because I've never told the full story. Are you ready for this? I'm going to tell you an exclusive.
Wow, he didn't tell us the full story. Very honest, right? It's very convenient that he kind of kept this part out for like months. It's almost like well, let's hear the full story.
Exclusive story that no one knows. Ready?
Oh no!
You guys have been coming by and talking to me about Kino.
Look at
told the full story. Are you ready for this? I'm going to tell you an exclusive story that no one knows. Ready? You guys had been coming by.
Bye. Why is he doing these like weird mouth shit now? He's been doing it more and more. Does he have food in his teeth? Maybe he should try flossing.
And talking to me about Kino Casino for a few months. Notably, Kino Casino started covering ReviewTech USA. Everyone knows the obsession that ReviewTech USA has with me. That he talks about me.
This dude really likes to act that Rich was some like massive harasser, like to him or whatever. And all Rich ever did to DSP was give him money and say like, "May 1st, lol," or "Wow, Phil, you beg a lot, man." That's harassment. I mean, you could argue DSP went through worse than that. And the fact he's like trying to conflate it to like something huge is so insane to me. Like, it's really like, this is gonna sound very extreme, but it's like a woman comes out and says, "Oh, this guy, he raped me and sexual assaulted me," whatever. And she talked about how this person also was like sexually harassing her in the workplace, here and there. And as she's like going about her day, explaining this to people, a person like DSP comes up and says, "Yeah, man, that guy, he said I was a doo-doo head one day. He's awful, man. He harassed me. He called me a doo-doo head." And it's like, dude, I think what she's going through is way worse than what you went through. So we're not gonna listen to you. Bye. And then he's like, "What? I'm trying to expose him, man." Like that's DSP. In a nutshell, because like, come on now, dog.
Constantly, even to now, he literally did a Christmas Eve stream.
Again, was that stream exclusively about DSP? I feel like you could watch a Rich stream and it will be about a lot of things, and then DSP will be like part of that. But is it the same obsession that DSP had with like CAG, Duty? I mean, technically he is obsessed with Duty. He keeps bringing him up, right? Correct? With his own logic. But he didn't do sole streams about Duty. Even though, like, if you go to his channel, let's go to his channel, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, pause. And let's just search Duty. Oh, look, Duty bends the knee. Duty breaks the law. DSP exposes detractor Duty. Detractor Duty. Felting Duty. Duty breaks TOS. Duty returns. Unhinged Duty. you know, I cringe at DSP's Duty jokes, but this is like really funny. Actually, you just read these titles and you take out the context, and it is kind of funny. Like, and what makes it even funnier is that when DSP tries to make a poop joke, it is awful, cringe, and disgusting. This is him making titles and not trying to be funny. And it is actually pretty funny. Keem vs. Duty? Let's flush him! I think this is him talking about how Duty scared him and he's afraid that Duty's gonna do something. Salty Duty! Let's see. Let's count Duty's vids! Kage and Duty get felted again! Duty felted again! So with DSP's own logic, this is him being obsessed with him. Look how many video titles have Duty in them. And I scrolled probably more than I thought. I thought here would be like the last thing, but no, it kept going. And this dude's like, Rich is obsessed with me! Okay, dude.
Me. Totally not obsessive, right? So, Kino Casino had been basically talking about Review Tech in a very negative way. And people had asked me, well, have you ever watched their show? Have you heard about what they're saying about Review Tech? They seem to be the only people covering Review Tech in a negative light, while you have been harassed by this guy for years, been trying to talk about him and
No, you haven't! No, you haven't! No, you haven't! No! No, see, this part is what made me want to, like, talk about this fucking idiot, right? About this fucking segment. Every time. Like, he's had multiple videos talking about Rich, whatever, but he would always end with, I don't want to talk about him. I don't want to address Rich. And this and that. And if he really was trying to expose Rich, then why didn't he tweet about him? Why doesn't he show the receipts of Rich being a bad person or whatever the fuck? How come when he's trying to expose Rich, he never tries to expose him in any meaningful way? And even when he does, it's only about him. And even then, what's he gonna say? Oh, he did a video about me. I mean, people make videos about people all the time. This dude really wants to be seen as like a silenced truth speaker or whatever the fuck. And it's like, you're not. You're not. Okay, man? Shut up. Like, he acts as if, like, Rich is going around and, like, silencing him. And he's like, I've been trying to tell you, but the media won't let me tell you about Rich being a lolcow. Even though everyone already thinks Rich is a lolcow for years now. But okay.
Expose him and no one cares what you say because, you know, you're a meme. You're a lolcow, right? And I was like, no, I don't know who Kino Casino is. I've never really heard of them. So after a few people kept coming by and mentioning them in my chat, I said, you know what? Just on a whim. This was like in July.
On a whim.
I said, I'm going to check these guys out and see what they're all about. I'm curious because
I feel like if you go back and watch him talk about Kino Casino, he makes it seem as if it was a clandestine, whatever, a random thing, like randomly Kino Casino decided to give Phil a chance. But in reality, DSP reached out to them because he started seeing all these people talk about them. Okay.
Never venture outside of my comfort zone, ever. I want to see what it is that people are talking about. So I went over to Kick one night.
But remember, I thought this guy tells us, I don't watch drama content. He doesn't do drama content. He doesn't do any of this nonsense. But he decides on a whim, I'm going to watch the Kino Drama Casino, man. Let's watch this.
And I checked out one of their archived streams. And I started seeing them talk about Rich. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
They are destroying this guy. And they're
wow. You know, this is really fucked up, right? This is literally shit that he would shit on people for, right? Wow, someone's shitting on DSP? I gotta watch this. Wow, they're really tearing him down. Isn't this like celebrating people's misfortune? And I thought he doesn't watch drama, and he would never do that. He had all these weird, these cringy, like people were telling him for months. Phil, did you hear that Rich is going through an awful time? Well, that's awful. You know, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna celebrate his misfortune. But now he wants to watch Kino Casino. He's like, wow, they're tearing him down. Wow, this is like really shit he shits on other people for doing. What a shocker.
Exposing him for things I don't even know about. Because again, I don't pay attention to these guys.
Oh my god. This is like a load of bullshit on top of bullshit. Because he just said before he was trying to expose Rich, and then says, well, they're exposing stuff about him that I didn't even know about. Yeah, because you don't pay attention to him. Because all these years you wanted to pretend as if you're above him and you don't care about drama and you want to stay in your lane or whatever the fuck. And Kino Casino is a drama channel, so of course they're gonna probably know more about him than you do. And he's like celebrating this. And this is the same. Now, if you replace Rich with DSP and DSP with like someone else watching Kino Casino tear down DSP, DSP would say that's stupid and they're listening to slander. The most pinnacle of double standards you could find. All on display on the Level 1 podcast.
Guys, these people obsess about me. It's not the other way around. So who even knew that any of this stuff was going on?
What?
They're exposing him for things I don't even know about. Because again, I don't pay attention to these guys. These people obsess about me. It's not the other way around. So who
What?
even knew that any of this stuff was going on?
Whatever, right?
And then, of course, I watched them make fun of me. I watched them actually have clips about me. They said things about me. They said things about my wife, right? They said,
my wife? Yeah, and you want to be friends with that, and you think it's cool, but if a detractor said your wife is fat and stupid, get banned. But Kino Casino saying, oh, let's get on my knees, dude. He's supposed to get on his knees for PPP saying his wife is fat and stupid. That's cool. But if a detractor said it, fuck him.
All these things, I'm like, man, so they seem to be pretty rough to everyone, right? And the funny part about it is, you know, someone like that, I get it. I totally get what they're doing. I do. And it's entertaining too.
So why is it so he gets it when Kino Casino does it, but if like I do it, I'm fucked in the head and I hyper focus and I'm a word that he wants to figure out. But Kino Casino does it. Oh, they're so cool. I get it, man. I love them so much. PPP, please come back to me. Okay.
Watching it, and I was laughing at the show, even when they were making fun of me, and I was like...
Okay, you know what? Then I must be hilarious. DSP should have watched every detractor and laughed, because they do this, like, we dog on people, too. So I guess we're actually talented. DSP just doesn't want to admit it. He's like a closeted detractor fanboy, I guess. Maybe he secretly likes detractor content, and he doesn't want to admit it. Maybe that's why. He's a closeted duty streamer fan. He loves duty streams. In reality, all those titles of him felting duty and this and that is actually like a thinly covered sign of affection. He loves duty. He wants duty to keep making content about him because he loves duty. Come on.
You know, it's rough to hear people roast you. It is. Well, you know, it's still entertainment. It's actually enjoyable. So...
Oh, yeah.
I got it. I was like, you know...
Oh, my God. This is so fucking lame. This dude is the lamest person I have ever known in my fucking life. I really don't think there's anyone that's more pathetic than DSP. Like, I don't even know how much of that is hyperbolic and what isn't at this point.
What? Here's some guys who, they've just started to talk about me. Okay, they're just dipping their toe into the bullshit detractor sphere that's around Darkside Phil.
Oh, so now, so
I'm
wait,
gonna reach out.
So Kino Casino dips their fucking toe in detractor content, and the detractor content's bullshit. But them regurgitating detractor content is cool and understandable. Okay.
To that. So I did. I actually at first DM'd them on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
And I said, hey, are you guys the hosts of the Kino Casino show? I want to make sure.
Are you guys the hosts? No, they're not the hosts. They are just random people.
That these are the right people I'm talking to.
Okay.
And it took a few days, but then actually they responded back. I think it was Ashton who actually responded.
So DSP had this belief for months that Kino Casino decided to give him a chance. Meanwhile, in reality, DSP reached out to them and asked them to love him, basically. Like, it's kind of funny that, in a way, they got pignotized by DSP. The pig noses got so strong, man. It got so strong. It, like...
The back first, and he was like, yeah, this is really Ashton from the show. What's going on? You know, I'm surprised to hear from you. And we had a conversation back and forth a little. And basically the conversation was like, listen, I've seen your show. I've heard that you guys are making fun of me, but you're also like slamming Review Tech and all of this. And
so he really only came by because they were slamming Rich. A very biased perspective. I mean, then if that's the case, he should really love like Meerkat, me, other people, maybe Tevin also, whatever. Everyone that hates on Rich, he should love us just as much. That's what I think.
You know, just so you know, I'd be open to a conversation.
I'd
talk
be open
about
to
this
suck
kind
your
of
dick,
stuff,
PPP.
or whatever. And basically, we kind of behind the scenes started having a convo that led to us have a shocking out of nowhere appearance on Kino Casino.
How was it out of nowhere when you're in contact with them? Like, that's not out of nowhere. You reach out to them, and then they're like, oh yeah, come on our show so we can milk you. And he's like, yeah, man, milk me, please.
August. Now, you guys remember what happened. Everyone told me not to do it. Right here on this very show.
Yeah, you wanna know why they were telling him this? Because his dumbass fucking fans really fell for the whole I don't do drama. I'm above that. I'm so cool. So they were telling him not to do it because Kino Casino is drama. They don't want him to do drama. And now he's like mocking them for falling for his thinly veiled nonsense. Because that's what DSP is at the end of the day. Just a little baby man that just wants all the attention.
I talked to you guys about it. And I was like, and you guys were like, no, don't do it. It's another side scrollers. It's another setup. You're going to get destroyed by these guys. That's all they want. Right? So,
I mean, you're gonna get
obviously,
destroyed.
I had that in my mind going into it.
No, well, whatever.
But
you already
felt
talked
like
to them.
at that
He already
point,
was
okay.
He was already
I need to do
planting
something different. I can't just sit here and do the
seeds.
same thing over and
Oh my
over.
God.
And this might be an opportunity. At the very least, even if it goes poorly, I'm sure a few people might get a laugh out of it. And maybe it would.
See, this is why I wish all these fucking idiots that get him on their little show and do whatever with him, all fuck him over. I don't, like, come on. Because he's saying, like, if it's always I get exposure. Yeah, he's gonna say that after, if it goes south, right? Like he did with the side scrollers. At least I got exposure, right? No, he didn't say that. He said that they betrayed me and they're evil and stupid. We know that he wouldn't have just coped with, well, at least at least I got exposure. No, he wouldn't.
Benefit some way. You know, the way I saw it, my detractors are going to do what they're going to do no matter what. And every once in a while, you got to take a shot at something. You know, it's kind of like, how can I say? In life, you're going to be treated badly by people. All right? It's just going to happen. It's inevitable. But just because you get treated badly by people, I'd like to think that you shouldn't just close yourself off.
Oh my God, this is like a fucking anime scene. When the fucking loner dude, whatever, gets like introduced to like living life and interacting with people. They're like, wow, people are so different and cool.
Lose faith in general. Because if you
nice
do,
mic.
you're going to miss out on so many positive opportunities in your life. Just because you had a bad experience once or twice or 5 times or 10 times or 50. Well, in my case, I've had a...
No, you know what? See, this is what's so stupid about this fucking guy. He's like, I'm not going to collapse. I just want to sit here and do my own thing. And now he's like, I want to, like, whore myself out. Which is why, like, all his little, like, he's putting his little foot down and all these ultimatums are just bluffs. that he's just saying to cope with the reality that he doesn't mean what he says. Like this, it's hard to take this dude seriously. He could tell me that we're all gonna die tomorrow, and I wouldn't believe him. I'd be like, yeah, right. You're probably saying this so I can give you my money right now, right? Like, and then the next day nothing happens, and then it's like, wow, what a shocker. He just said that after all.
A lot of bad experiences with people. Let's put it that way. Okay. But I feel like if I just say, oh, I give up, I'm never going to try. I never want to have a conversation. I never want to go on a show. I never want to do a collab. I never want to do. I'm going to end up sitting here, 70 years old, withered and gray, and but only having done the same.
This is such bullshit anyway. Because, like, what meaningful content came out of this? Nothing. And now we're just gonna get a wrestling podcast. Wow, he's never done that before. And who honestly is gonna care? The only way it's gonna survive is because, like, PPP and DSP are gonna beg for its success. And then this dude is sitting there, like, just, yeah, I gotta interact with other people, but he has no hobbies, he has no friends in real life. Like, what does he do off stream? Spend time with his wife as she plays games and he's on his phone. Wow, what a life.
Same kind of content and never done anything different. And I might maybe be happy with that, but at the same time, it's a shame. I feel like it's squandered opportunity and squandered potential. Because I feel like I can do more than that. You know what I mean?
No,
I can do more than just be the guy that just does one thing. And
nah,
for
you
me,
can only do one thing.
I wanted to take that chance. I don't know what it was. I just had a good feeling.
This dude says he wants to take chances and this and that, but then when it, like, when we're gonna get to the year-end series update, he literally says, well, I was thinking of doing an edited video, and then someone told me that I would not make a lot of money since, like, I'm not streaming during that time, or whatever the fuck. But he wants to take risks. Wouldn't taking time and not stream to make a video taking a risk on something that could pan out? But the thing is, like, you could argue, well, he could make another Homefront Revolution and make it viral or this and that. But in reality, like everything else in this dude's dumbass life, he never really strives for anything more. He may make a video, and let's say he gets 1 million views like the Homefront Revolution. After that, that's what he's going to try to do over and over and over and over and over and over. He won't try anything new. He won't try to change his editing style. He won't try anything. And then if it doesn't give him the views he wants, he's going to drop it. So, really, any venture he takes either never lasts long or is just half-assed all the way.
Feeling about it. I legit had a good feeling that if I keep trying, something good would finally come of it. And the rest is history. I appeared on the show. It was a highly entertaining appearance. Everyone seemed to like me being a straight man to their chaos of the Lollapalooza sphere that they cover.
This dude loves saying,
I'm like the straight man. I'm like the Michael Bluth of Arrested Development.
I'm like the straight man in the city. That's how he described himself with the potential of him being in Lollapalooza Live, was that he was going to be the straight man. And it's like, no, the straight man doesn't decide that he's the straight man. That's not his decision to make.
Immediately did another fast appearance within a couple of weeks where we had Josh Moon there, and I was talking with Josh Moon, the maker or the owner and operator of Q.
So I did that yearly thing, and I forgot to mention, how could I have forgotten the Null interview? But, you know, this comes and goes, honestly. Because really what came out of it was him being bullied to ban Derek and not understand why he had to ban Derek. Like, that to me will always be wild. The fact he's like, yeah, I banned him, I don't know why it's a big deal, but, you know, I did it, guys. Give me ass pats. Like, man, and I see all these random fucking accounts saying, Phil, you know, did the right thing, but he doesn't know why he did it. So, I don't really, like, I'm not giving him credit for banning Derek because he doesn't understand why he had to in the first place. Which tells me, if there's enough time that passes where he's officially done with Kino Casino, or they betray him, or whatever the fuck, or whatever, or he thinks that the buzz will die down, I could definitely see him unban Derek. Like, I could definitely see that happening at some point.
Farms about my thoughts about his site, and it was a fascinating interaction and interview for sure, right? And that led into the door opening for me having someone like Keemstar as my first
Keemstar
guest
came-
on the show,
Well,
having the
didn't-
big explosive
saw
interview
Keemstar
with
came
Stuttering
before Null.
Craig, and we all know how that went. And
yeah,
you know,
look
other
like a
things as
dumbass.
well.
I love that
And
he
me,
really
doing multiple.
He really, and I look that he doesn't even mention Tolo, by the way. You know, the guy that was supposed to not be a drama interview, and he always thinks that Craig got felted in that interview, but he was the one that got felted the most, because again, when you're doing an interview and the whole time you're spending is fishing for an apology, you don't really look like a cool guy. Like, I didn't think DSP looked cool at all when he's sitting there demanding an apology. When you could argue Craig is more validated in asking for an apology, since, you know, and again, like as I said in the video, if it was just him saying, "Yeah, Craig, you're right. I am gonna apologize. I am sorry I lied to you. For lying to you. I was kind of concerned as to how I was gonna prove it, but it was wrong of me to lie to you. I should have trusted you, and I should have just at least told you I did play WWE Champions, but I couldn't like show you that because of this. But I am sorry I lied to you." And then he could say, "Okay, I accept your apology. I forgive you, Phil. Are you now?" And then from that, he might say, and I also apologize that maybe our stream was a little in bad faith or whatever the fuck, whatever. But since that didn't happen, we just got DSP sitting there like a little baby saying,
No, you apologize.
He doesn't look like a cool guy at all, and looks like a giant baby."
Collabs with Kino Casino, right? You know, I ended up not doing just that, but we did gameplay of what was it called? Chained Together. And then later on, we did some zombies gameplay on Halloween, which was really good. I actually really liked the zombies co-op that we did. I think
We
that's a
never
great
saw
game.
this again.
I'd like to maybe get back into it someday. I just don't know how or when, because I don't seem to have time to do anything. So many
spam, of course.
awesome
Shut up.
collabs between those guys, and that just really gave me an opportunity to be seen in a different light by people on the internet. So basically now there's 3 schools of people on the internet. One school of people are my detractors who will never be swayed. They'll always hate me. They'll always obsess over me, and they're always going to benefit.
Oh, so we will always obsess over DSP, and that's why we're in the wrong, but Kino Casino obsessing over Rich is cool, fun, and fair. Very cool.
By saying negative things about me. So that's literally never going to change. But now what's happened is we have 2 other categories. People who are neutral and are actually truly neutral. See, looking at me now and be like,
God.
all those years that people hated on Phil.
You know, he had this schools of thought bullshit for fucking ever. All this is just him like realizing that his perception of his presence online was bullshit. Because he always had to be like, "Guys, Phil isn't that bad. You know, Hitler was born and he did fucked up stuff, but DSP's not Hitler." It's like, wow, what it take? Like, there were people, I vaguely remember a dude saying that, "Guys, Phil isn't murdering puppies on stream, so he's not that bad." It's like, no one said he's like a murderer or he's like a psychopath. They're just saying he's a dumbass. Like, come on. And like, he does scam his audience. Like, there's all these instances of him doing it. And it's like, and that's why you get these fucking idiots in this little community that get kicked off, that realize, "Oh, this is kind of a scam, Phil," and then they get banned. He's like, "I can't believe Phil did that." And it's like, damn, man. Like, it happened with Iron Cook Sakai. But when Iron Cook Sakai did not get like his ass pats, he went back to the king to get scammed even more. And the thing is, like, I was talking to like a few people about this because they were talking about Iron Cook Sakai and saying that, and they're saying like, "Oh, you know, I felt kind of bad from whatever." The thing is, if you were in DSP's community and you get and you got slighted by him, and you make a Twitter post or whatever discussing it, you know, if it's genuine, you shouldn't care about what other, like, if I said, you're a fucking idiot, I can't, you know, whatever, if I start mocking people for realizing DSP's a scammer, you know, that shouldn't matter to you because, you know, it happened to you, right? So you should not be seeking my validation about you being scammed or whatever. You should feel that way, and that's something you have to gain because so many people have made these big posts bragging how fuck Phil, I'm gonna expose him and say he's a doo-doo head, and then it's like, oh, okay. And then they would just go back to DSP and be like, Phil, I love you, man. It's like, yeah, okay, wow. So it's very hard to gauge people who are being genuine versus people who are just going to be like fair weather, or that they want some benefit, then if they're not getting it, they go back to Phil anyway. So it's really like, you gotta either just power through that or just, I wouldn't say you have to say nothing, but it's just, if you're genuine, it shouldn't matter if people don't believe you or pat you on the back. You should just kind of do your own thing. Like, that's why, like, you know, look at DJ Runo. Like, DJ Runo, I initially was like, yeah, this guy's gonna go back to me. He never did, because at the end of the day, like, he stayed in the detractor sphere, like, so long, and it was very obvious that it was a genuine, like, I'm over with this guy. And he's right to be over with him, because, again, DSP fell for a sock account pretending to be DJ Runo, and it's like, dude, you run the site, you know how long members are, and you got tricked by an account that was newly made over a dude that was there in your forums for longer. And he didn't think about this, and he had this whole meltdown over DJ Runo and this and that. And now DJ Runo is, like, not a fan anymore. The Dutch brothers, same thing with them. Like, I mean, I think it's kind of fun. Like, you make a zombie Jesus joke, and that was enough to turn them. But on the flip side, like, DSP didn't, like, even apologize or pretend to care. So of course they're gonna, like, go on their own, this and that. Like, people have different opinions, but if you're leaving DSP's community or whatever, the point of the matter is, you should not seek validation for that decision. You should just kind of, like, find solace in that you don't like this guy, or this guy's a scammer, and stick with that. If you're just gonna go back to DSP, then it must not have been a big deal. Just like Iron Cuck Sakai, DSP shat on this guy to his face, and that wasn't bad enough for him to break free, and he would end up going back to DSP, and DSP kept telling him to his face, I don't trust you, you're a piece of shit, and gave him, like, hundreds of dollars. So it really shows how little Iron Cuck Sakai even cared about DSP making fun of him anyway. Like, and it's the same thing with, like, if you're a DSP fan, just shut up and enjoy the content. Enjoy his content. Support him. Whatever.
So it doesn't really make sense. I mean, there's even now a 4-hour documentary on him, which we've all seen, and there's nothing really that bad in it. It's just a normal.
I want everyone to say there's nothing really that bad. I want them to really explain to me, like I'm a baby, like I'm a 2-year-old. Explain to me, why was it okay for a DSP to, like, tell his fans and viewers that he was gonna lose the house? Guys, we need to pay the bills. Guys, we need taxes. And yet he spent money on a mobile game. I really want to explain. I want someone to explain why that's a cool thing and why it's fine for him to lie about that to us, instead of just saying, yeah, I play WWE Champions. I don't spend that much money on it. I spend, like, you know, whatever. But of course he's like, well, the mobile game is not meant to be, like, something that was supposed to be in the public eye. Meanwhile, he wanted to do mobile game content in his streams. He named himself in these mobile games as DSP in multiple different ways. But again, the context was that he literally was making people feel like, oh shit, he needs to pay his bills. Oh no! Oh, he's going through a bankruptcy. Oh no! Let's support the guy, as he was playing mobile games. And then also explain to me, why was it a cool thing to tell us that he promised his wife he will never play mobile games? And this is the kind of shit, if, like, Rich said something like this and got exposed for not doing that, he would definitely hold that over Rich's head. So why is that okay? And that's simply, like, what a lot of people complain. Like, of course there's gonna be people that are gonna, like, extrapolate or say insane stuff, but that's like with anything. I mean, come on.
Normal dude, kind of boring, honestly. A lot of people have said that, if ultimately the public opinion has shifted from Phil is the absolute most heinous lying lolcow ever to, he's just a normal guy who's kind of boring.
I'm sorry. Him being boring is like subjective, but it's boring in different ways. Whatever. I mean, sure, his gameplay is boring, whatever. But him being a normal guy, that is a bridge too far. Like, this dude is so narcissistic and so egotistical. And he's a hypocrite. He has double standards. And the thing is, like, he says things that are just so, like, on the surface level. Like, again, if he had no other content, no other podcast, let's say this was the only podcast to exist, this would sound fine. But there are stretches of podcasts, all these videos that age horribly. I've never seen someone put out content that ages as badly as DSP. Like, it's one thing you see like a comedy channel or whatever that may put out a joke that's like, maybe at the time it was funny and you laughed at it, but then over time you don't find that joke funny anymore. It's kind of offensive, and they also find that offensive. They stop making that content. That's one thing. Like, that's like reasonable stuff that ages, that people understand. Like, okay, whatever. But this dude will say like, I will never ever buy Call of Duty ever again. Never ever ever. And then, like, the next day, I bought Call of Duty, guys. I'm so cool. Like, that's where we're at with this guy. As I get a fucking phone call, shut the fuck up. Leave a voicemail or leave me alone. God damn.
Take the normal guy who's kind of boring. I'm okay with that. In fact, that's what I've been saying for years. If people would just see me fairly and stop.
But there has been that. Like, I've seen people who were DSP detractors that moved on because they're like, yeah, this is like a waste of time, which I understand. Like, I understand why some people may think it's like ridiculous to like make a big deal out of this guy, but at the same time, it's the internet. Everyone makes a big deal out of everything. Like, I really do feel there's a degree. If this was like a female streamer saying the shit he says, people would be talking about that more often. But since it's DSP, it's like, well, let's give him a chance. This guy is treated like he's a fucking toddler. Like, guys, he doesn't know what he's saying. He doesn't know any better. And it's like, dude, this dude's in his 40s. Like, when do we decide that DSP can be put in the driver's seat? Like, when does he get to face the consequences or the consequences in DSP's world for his fucking actions? He has gotten so many second chances, and nobody, and I mean nobody, has gotten as many second chances as this guy. He gets so many, and he gives them no credit at all. Only Kino Casino because they have the clout, but he doesn't give anyone else the second chances. He acts as if no one has ever said, "Hi, Phil, I used to be a detractor, but I love you now." He acts as if that never happens. Until now. Okay.
Throwing me in with this category of insanely chaotic, horrible lolcow people, and instead just say
Dude, nobody is saying he's as bad as Christian. The only way DSP could be as bad as Christian is for him to take a flight to Quebec and do things. You know what I'm saying? But he's not gonna do that. He has Cat.
he's a normal dude. Even below.
Who, by the way, he confuses her with his mom sometimes, so that gives me some red flags. And he also has like a very sus take on incest. But we don't need to go into that again.
I'm happy with that because that allows me to have positive viewership, have a community of people who love what I do and are able to come by and just have that normal kind of positive social interaction. When literally most of the internet is crapping on you, you can't have that. You understand? But now public opinion has shifted to a more neutral stance. And that's all I ever wanted. Okay? If anything,
He was already at a neutral stance. My guy, when people were saying you were down from the rafters, when that was a hot meme, there were so many people saying, who cares? So what if he plays mobile games? Because they all don't give a fuck about the context as to why people have had a problem with it. Just like how DSP is forgetting the context of why people brought it up in the first place. He thinks it's because he played a mobile game when that's not why. And it's really disingenuous for him to not even acknowledge or even give a fuck just enough to even understand how it looks when during that time he was going through a bankruptcy, saying how he needs money now, he needs support now, help, help, help. And then he was playing a mobile game that he spends money in. And the only thing he would probably argue is, I don't spend $40K. But even then, like, look how he played the game last year. He was willing to drop $2K on it. I'm willing to bet he dropped the minimum double digits. That's the minimum amount I could see him spending in that game. But I think he probably gave in triple digits. Probably a couple hundreds. I'm being generous saying he's dropping double-digit money into that game. I think it was more than that. And that's too much. And it's, again, it's one thing if he just wasn't begging, was getting support and playing the game on the side or whatever the fuck. Like, that's one thing. But if you're gonna make your financial responsibilities the concern of your viewers, people are gonna start asking questions at that point. That's why people gave Rich a hard time. Like, you know, during that time where Mega 64 and another Mega 64 reference, I know, where they were saying like how, you know, these videos were not making enough money and they were about to like stop making videos and their fans came out and supported them and all this other stuff. There was a little part that Rocco started to get into where he brought like he was buying all these figures and this and that, but that was coming out of his own like private account or whatever the fuck. Like, he was just, you know, from his own money basically. But I was seeing this like, well, I don't remember Mega 64 doing multiple streams like a lot, as much as DSP, just comparatively, of them telling me, guys, I got bills to pay. We got bills to pay, guys. I have 2 big bills coming, or anything like that. They just made content and uploaded it. So I don't care that Rocco's buying these figures. And to me, I'd argue, they have at least more to show that they do care about the videos they put out. They put effort behind them, regardless. So, for me, I don't give a fuck that Rocco bought all these figures or whatever the fuck, because, like, you know, he's putting out videos on his own channel, and he didn't, like, come to me saying, guys, this and that. And also, they have other investments in that company anyway, or in Mega 64, or whatever. They have their own investments in that. They have to buy cameras, equipment, all these other things that add up. So I'm more willing to give them slack as to like, oh, you know, their support's going up because they also have merch that they have to pay for and all this other stuff. They have more reason to do what they do than DSP. When he's an individual who has no like sign of investment, he put zero money towards getting better equipment for years. He needed to get all this stuff like donated for him, and now he's finally able to buy stuff. But guess what? He wanted to buy all this stuff in 2024 to write it off on his taxes, to get a tax return. So it wasn't really like genuine, like, because if you're running a business, regardless of when you buy stuff, you're buying stuff for your business, and then you'll get the tax return. Like, you put money on the side for that. So it's harder for me to give DSP any slack when I don't even feel like he's good with his money anyway. Like the mic, did he really do any real research on this? Did he look in like the PC? He didn't even do any meaningful research into the gaming PC. He put that onto his fans, and he didn't understand the motherboard he got. He realized that the capture card couldn't fit into it. So it's like, wow, you couldn't figure this out? Very cool.
We had the Kino Casino arc, right? Leading into me reacting to my own documentary by June the King. It changed everything. It really did. And you might say, well, I don't get it because, Phil, you had very short-lived gains. You had more views and more support and all of that for like 2-3 months. And now things are kind of back to normal. But are they? Views are back to normal. I'll admit that. But you might have noticed the negative element isn't here anymore. Is that?
What?
You notice that we can all kind of hang out and talk and chill.
But
and there's no real...
Dude, he literally was ranting about Iron Cook Sakai and Jamal. And then he was like... And he still bans trolls. He still bans stock accounts. It's the same shit. He just means that he's at least still getting money.
Overhanging negative element anymore. There aren't people trying to flood the chat with trolling, and there's not people dumping on each other constantly. All that stuff is shifted to their own levels. Like, they're all doing that now on their own restreams and shit, and I don't care about those.
No,
they
your
don't
chat's
matter.
still full
They're
of
literally
LARPers,
farts
though.
in the fucking wind. They just...
Dude, he was crying about the Gremlin people for not praising his fucking mic quality. And like, this dude it's really just going off of a high, honestly.
and then they're gone. Doesn't matter what they say and do. Instead, now my
cope.
community
This is cope.
is able to enjoy each other's company without that level of convention, harassment, whatever you want to call it, that used to always be prevalent. That's a good thing. In addition...
But when it was going on, why didn't you ban him? Like, again, like, there were people like harassing his other viewers and he barely banned them. Like OIC, correct?
I have gotten increased support. Even though you might say, well, I don't get it, your views are back to normal. Yes, but now people actually are being fair to me. Understand?
So him getting support is people being fair to him. But look at how he gets support. It's still by like individuals carrying the stream. The King Sex is taking in kick subs, only new memberships, and some gifted memberships, I think. Whatever. Kick subs, yeah. Super chats and tips. Four venues. He might as well include Patreon at this point into his King's tax. You might as well. So it's really like not even accurate. And I wonder if people were to tally up how many tips he gets in a stream and compare it to the King's tax, I wonder what the differential is. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because people already kind of like felt this way, that he doesn't need tips to survive, since, again, he was able to survive. As I said for years, the site-based currency like cheers, super chats, memberships, this is memory hole money. This is money he doesn't want you to think about at the time. So, of course, he's able to survive without getting a lot of tips. So it really makes it very clear that this "please tip me, I need tips" was all lies, and was just him trying to get extra money immediately. And now he's living comfortably, and he doesn't need tips immediately. It's really like this dude thinks about money. Once this goes away, or declines to a significant degree, you may see a return of like depressed Phil. But we're not getting that, because his cucks have fallen for all these fucking scams and schemes. Oh, if you give 20 subs, I'll give you badges. Oh yes, let's get some badges, brother. And all this other shit. But that's only gonna last for so long, in reality.
So now, look at what I have. An amazing studio setup. The ability to play any game I want at any moment. I'm not so financially restricted.
Okay, not financially restricted, so play Metaphor. Why not go back to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? If he's not financially burdened anymore, why does he do these things? Like, Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm like doing gross stuff, but sometimes it bothers me. Okay, but anyways, why doesn't he do metaphor? Why do we have to? Why is that a hard game to play now? Why wouldn't it work? I thought you're not financially burdened.
That I can't even play new games unless I raise a certain amount. We're not there. We're hitting goals. We're crushing it.
All
Every
right,
day.
so play metaphor.
It's not even like, oh, every once in a while. Every day we're crushing it. That is a huge turnaround. Okay? I don't need to be Mr. Popular. I just need to be able to live. And now I can.
Okay, so
That's
then play
how
metaphor.
This whole
play
thing
metaphor.
Came about. By Kino Casino giving me a chance to show that I'm just a normal guy, that I'm personable, that I'm rational, that I'm not some crazy freak out to scam you every moment, which is what these idiots have said for 10 years and is not true. Now I can just be a normal content creator.
Okay,
It's
play
all
metaphor.
I ever wanted, and I feel like I do deserve the amount of effort and
you
dedication
deserve
and determination and work that I put into this. I feel like I should at least be able
What
to be treated
determination? What work? Literally, he's just riding the coattails of Kino Casino this for the rest. I want everyone to just realize he's gonna be riding these coattails over on Kino Casino until the day he dies. This is what we're gonna have to listen to forever now.
Kino Casino gave me a chance.
Because this is the same shit he said when he did the debunking stream. Oh, it seems like people are finally giving me a chance, guys. The same shit. This actually is that. I will say this though. This is lasting longer than that. That lasted like a day, and then it went back to like, guys, everyone hates me again. So let's see how long this will actually last. Because this is hitting records of like. Now it's like months of him saying that people are finally giving him a chance. I wonder how long this will last. And again, like, how many people, like, I've not heard any new names. It's the same people that have been there even before the Kino arc. The Gremlin people were there way before. Lady Charisma's been there for years.
like a normal human. And I'm glad that now that's happening.
And again, this is steamrolling all these people who gave him a chance before Kino Casino. All those people, fuck them. Kino Casino, now I'm getting a second chance. So all these people who gave this guy a second chance, I hope they really enjoy the barely nothing style shoutouts. Meanwhile, Kino Casino, DSP's on his knees for them.
Damn. So, thank you for that. And as you can see, these last few months have been wildly successful. Whether it's getting into PC gaming the first time in over 10 years and now being able to play any PC game I want, co-streaming,
Okay, streaming,
branching out, commentary again. My level of positivity and success need to be bringing in. You need to love what you do. Love live streaming. I love it. PC, console, you're here for the ride. Like DSP again. Part is they have become the lol cows. Idiot, because you like DSP. The only around it that we can now support each other. We can have great social experiences.
Oh, we can support each other. So DSP's gonna like, you know, he's saying all this like, oh, we can support each other. We love each other. Whatever the fuck. But he doesn't pay it forward to his own fucking dents, dude. He only did that when he was on Twitch, by the way, and only very selectively. He hosted Kekken, Pops the Colo, and even Derek. And all this. But what does he do now? He only raids Kino Casino on Kick. He doesn't raid any other streamer. All of these people go out of their way to help him, but he only helps Kino Casino. Wow, this guy is so cool.
To like DSP again. It's not, oh, now you're an idiot because you like DSP. The only people saying that are my idiotic, very obsessed detractors.
Only detractors have been saying that. No one has said you're an idiot for liking DSP. I've not heard anyone say that outside of detractors. The most that they'll say is they'll just say like an offhanded joke about DSP, and that's it. That's harmless. I only hear people saying, yeah, if you like DSP, you're a fucking idiot. The only way they'd probably say that is if DSP is saying actual harmful stuff that's actually bad. But all he's been saying is ignorant, stupid shit, which is like not a lot of people are gonna die on the hill of saying that he should not be successful or whatever the fuck.
That no one cares about. The funny part is they have become the lol cows and they don't realize it. Thousands of idiots cannot look in the mirror and understand they are now object of ridicule because they are the obsessive.
Dude, everyone is an object of ridicule. Like, that's kind of like how life is sometimes. Again, dude, it's literally this.
Are you gonna boo-hoo or are you gonna yeehaw? All right, are you gonna boo-hoo or are you gonna yeehaw? You're gonna boo-hoo or yeehaw?
Of losers here. I am not the heinous villain they made me out to be for a decade, and no one believes that anymore.
Dude.
Who has a rational mind.
So, rational mind.
We are free.
We are free.
Now
we
enjoy
are
each
free.
other's company and enjoy new kinds of content, different kinds of fun, and
So
not have to worry about any of their
you know
bullshit.
what?
How long has
if everyone loves him now, he should be sponsored now. He should get like free games. Get free games.
been since I've directly addressed any of them about anything they've said about me? I don't need.
Fun fact, he stopped doing that because people were telling him not to do it anymore, and he perceived the Kino arc is over and he doesn't want to do drama all the time. That's why. Now it's, well, do you see, I'm so cool? Yeah, for now. For now.
Need to. Literally, it's fluff. It's garbage. It's hey, another thing to say negative about Phil to try to make a buck today. Go ahead and make your buck. You're irrelevant.
All right.
And the moment that
guys, he said go ahead and make your buck. Guys, you can monetize your content now. DSP said it's okay. Who cares? But hey, man, he could sue you if he really wanted to. Uh-huh.
I turn the camera off, you die. Get it? You just
I turn the camera off, you die. What is this? I'm already dead, Phil. You can't kill what's already dead.
die on the vine. Done. Nothing else to sustenance. So there you go. I'm happy with how this last year went. Seriously, I had a great time. Really, a really great time. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed it as well. What a year. We started off slow. We started off pretty negative in the gaming industry with how things were going. And then what a turnaround in the second half where now it doesn't matter if games are bad or not. We have more than enough to do. Like, admittedly, let's be honest. Right now, there's not a lot going on in gaming. But I'm super busy. I've got 2 major playthroughs, a bunch of multiplayer games, chill in AAA games. So probably one of the most determined. You stuck through it, man. To worry about the future, we're in a good position. Finally, like I said a few months ago, we have come out the other end of that tunnel. Fun together, and you support that fun. 25, man. To be, hurdles to jump over. About tackling each thing as it comes. You are too. I want to thank you all.
Notice he's only thankful when he got a lot of benefit. Not other times. Why wasn't he thankful during other times, right? Whatever.
Yeah. So now let's briefly cover the schedule. Maybe we can't. Let's get some support memberships. I'm interested in trying. Run on PC.
All right, we're talking about mods.
Enemy randomizer and there's item randomizer.
Okay.
Am I going to install? Everyone has to get an electric car. We don't even have enough electricity way, and our government is. We are currently in the early stage, actually running out of electricity. So please do all you do. Whatever you do, stop using a big alert. Our government in Washington, we're rushing. I like the idea. I'm just going to say this about
politics time. It's politics time. Many politics time, guys. So bear with me on this one because I didn't expect this, but this sounds funny because I think I heard this somewhere before.
About electric cars, because I already have, but I'll say it again. All right. That's not the podcast. I like the idea of electric cars. I really do. If we could get rid of fossil fuels, great. The problem is, once again, humans.
What does he think electric cars run on? Everything is on fossil fuels. If you buy an electric car, you're using fossil fuels because you're charging it with electricity that's powered by fossil fuels. Like, okay.
what we're doing
Let's not
is
think
we're
about this
rushing
too hard.
forward at a careening pace before the infrastructure is
Careening.
ready. I'll give you an example. You're going to get a kick out of this one.
You're
Okay?
gonna get a kick out of this song.
I live.
Like, look, my opinion on electric cars is very simple. I think it makes sense if you're in, like, in a closed area, like, if you're, like, maybe in a city, if you're in a suburbs and you're just going to, like, very close areas, that's one thing, but if you want to go, like, long distance on the highway, I would recommend just getting a normal car, or maybe even a hybrid, because maybe a hybrid would be adaptable, but, I think an electric car is fine if you're not planning on making long trips or long distance or whatever. That way you can, like, charge at home and that's it. Uh, I do think that, like, I do think the technology should be expanded and more research, because I think the potential is there, but we're not gonna get there if we just don't do anything with it. You know, like, you look at any technology, like computers, phones, like, the only reason why these devices have improved so much is because we've used them over time, and we're always looking ways to improve these things that have already existed. That's why you're never gonna see, like, the final iPhone. Like, there's no ultimate final version of an iPhone or a Samsung phone or a PC or whatever, because there's things always improving. But if you don't do anything with this technology, you're not gonna, like, improve it. Like, if no one, like, buys or uses electric cars, the companies are not going to have an incentive to enhance the development there or research ways to improve it or take any form of data as to how people use it in the first place. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, you need to have a lot of buy-in for that to even be a thing. So I don't think there's anything wrong with electric cars. I think we should maintain the option. Like, it shouldn't be like, okay, let's get rid of fossil, like, gas cars forever permanently. Like, I would only say that once we get to a very good point in electric cars, but that's not right now. I think right now it's a very niche market, and it's only for very, like, specific groups of people that would want it, or whatever.
In Washington State, we are one of the most progressive left-leaning states in the entire country when it comes to political thought and stuff like that. So, our government actually is trying to outlaw fossil fuel cars, saying if you want to drive a vehicle, in a few years, you can only buy an electric vehicle. Okay?
I feel there's a caveat to that, because I can't imagine them, like, doing that. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do some research. Let's do some research, guys. This is what you guys love. You love about Theo does research. Washington State. Okay, let's see. Electrical vehicle mandate. Let's see. EV sales, Washington far short. Okay, let's see. Let's go to the government website. Let's see. Washington is one of the 17 states to adopt more stringent regulations on vehicle pollution from California, known as vehicle emission standards. These standards apply to automakers, not individuals or businesses. Over time, I'm doing what DSP does. They'll increase the number of clean vehicles available in Washington. This will ensure any new combustion engine vehicles sold in our state produce less air pollution, fewer greenhouse gases. They don't regulate used or off-road vehicles or ban the continued use. Okay, so they don't regulate used or off-road vehicles or ban the continued use of gas or diesel-powered vehicles. Our vehicle emission standards are part of a strong suite of climate change policies, together with Washington's limit greenhouse gases, reduce statewide emissions by 45%. Okay, transportation of our site's biggest greenhouse gases emissions, transitions to clean vehicles, essential. Okay. Under the states can either follow federal emission standards or adopt California's stringent. Legislature passed a law. Let's see. California zero emissions. It doesn't say anything about banning vehicles. it just seems that they want to like just have emissions tests. Like they want to just change the regulations of that. That's not really banning cars and all this other stuff. I would probably have to read more about it to be fair, but I don't think I don't think it's like a oh, we're getting rid of, you can never be able to buy gas cars ever again. Like that seemed way too ridiculous.
It's good intentions, but last year during the winter, all right, all of a sudden a big alert came out from our electric company. Want to know what the alert was?
Get a load of this.
Whatever you do, stop using electricity. Turn anything off you don't need, cut back on it, because the grid is an amazing amount of stress right now, middle of the winter.
I love he's blaming this on electric cars. When you listen to this, it's just a general alert, because guess what? There's all these buildings, homes, offices, whatever the fuck, that all use continuous power. When you plug something in, even if you turn it off, it's still taking electricity. You turn on lights, takes electricity. All these things take electricity. They're saying, like, if you're not in a room, turn off the electricity. How is this relevant to electric vehicles? Because whatever, okay.
And we're at risk of having a major failure or actually running out of electricity. So please do all you can do to conserve electricity.
Like, I feel like this would happen even without electric vehicles, because fossil fuels is also a finite resource anyway. Like, we're continuously, like, taking fossil fuels. It's not gonna last forever.
I want you to think about this. We're currently in the early stages of adopting electric vehicles. We don't have a ton of them yet, but everyone's leaning that way.
You also, like, you technically don't need to leave the car charged at all. Like, the dealership may tell you, oh yeah, plug in your charger and leave it there and it's fine. You don't need to do that. Like, you can leave it unplugged and then just plug it in when it's, like, low. Whatever, okay.
And our government is trying to outlaw fossil fuel cars. But the companies that generate electricity
Okay, I got another thing I can Google. Is Washington going to outlaw gas cars or whatever? Is Washington getting rid of gas cars? Governor Jay Inslee has set ambitious climate goals in Washington state, including a ban on the sale of new gas-powered passenger vehicles that will go into effect in 2035. Okay, let's see what it's gonna explain. Yes, let's see what Northwest is gonna explain to me, because I'm an idiot. So let's see. It's incentivized Washingtons to begin their transition to electric vehicles by 2030, but right now there's no legal requirement. Okay. The actual requirements to purchase zero-emission vehicles is starting in 2035, saying that it is actually both a combination of a law that was passed by Washington in 2019 and to adopt California's zero regulation law is you will not be able to buy a new gas powered vehicle in Washington after 2035, although drivers will still be allowed to license gas-powered vehicles purchased out of state. Leasing says the whole point is to get zero carbon emissions. Okay. And don't worry, saying the state will not come and take your old gas vehicles away. Okay, I guess they aren't gonna ban them. I guess that's what's going to happen. But you can get a car out of state anyway. I don't know, whatever. But if you live in a city, I guess you're, well, I just wonder, like, is there a caveat to this? Like, I don't know. Let's see. Does that have criteria Washington is working to make the switch? Technology, overburdened communities, particularly those located along a major transportation corridors, are expected to benefit the most. Okay. Okay, so maybe they are gonna ban it. I don't know. Like that does seem ambitious, but it's probably they're either gonna change it or we'll see how it pans out. But I don't. But whatever.
Saying at certain times of the year, we don't have enough electricity now. So what's going to happen if all of a sudden no one can drive fossil fuel cars anymore and everyone has to get an electric car?
But that's not true either. They said, I did read, it's like, hey, if you have a gas car, you can keep that car. You'll still be allowed to drive it. It's just you won't be able to buy a brand new EV. And honestly, how many people really genuinely buy brand new cars that aren't like rich, you know? And DSP's not a rich guy. You think he's gonna buy a brand new car? I don't know.
We don't even have the grid that can support it, but we're outlawing what we're doing now. How the fuck does that make any sense? Does it make any sense at all? Like, I'm all for going to clean alternatives, really. I want to have clean air. I want to stop using fossil fuels, but can we do it in a method that makes sense, that doesn't screw over humanity? Oh, you can't drive anymore in a fossil fuel car, but now no one has electricity. The grid just...
See, so you know, I did some research, and sure, I could say I was a little wrong, because they did say that that it was going to be harder to buy a gas car. This is an outright ban in 2035. So I am a little wrong on that. However, nowhere did I read that they were going to outlaw this. I mean, they do require emissions testing, and they're going to change. I think maybe they're going to be more stringent on that. But that is a different thing completely. Meanwhile, you have you can still drive your gas car. They're not saying that, oh, you have to give us your car. Like, they're not doing that. They're not taking your car away, Phil.
Just got shot, so now no one can do anything. That sounds like a good idea. Why is no one using their fucking brains out here? Why are we?
You can also make the argument that if you don't make these kind of changes, there's going to be no reason for them to like search for other alternatives as well. I mean, it's a very like big thing, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be driving your car a lot if you're going to be dealing with climate change. You know what I'm saying?
Through the motion. Oh, the earth is being destroyed and all that. So let's just outlaw everything. How about we rationally tackle the problems in a method that we can do it step by step in the proper method. I don't care if by 2060, 2070, all we drive are electric cars out here, but let's improve the grid first so it can support that level of electric use and drain. Why are we we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot. People want to move forward too fast, too quick before we're ready for it.
But they're not getting rid of, like, you could keep your gas car though, whatever.
I know people are like, DS politics returned. Well, it's just something that's a pet peeve of mine.
But like, you can also, reminds me of
when I moved out. But also,
you can buy pre-owned cars out of state or whatever the fuck. Like
in 2014,
like whatever.
So I lost my health insurance that I had when I lived in Connecticut because I left
God,
Connecticut and I was moving to Washington State.
Healthcare shit is annoying. It was clearly not a big deal for him when nothing happened and he was able to do it without any problem. He keeps saying, well, what if I broke my leg? Well, you didn't break your leg back then, dumbass. And now you have health care. Now the problem is that it's too expensive and people get denied now.
And I tried to get health insurance. The entire system was broken. Why? Because President Obama, had redone the American healthcare system. Now Obamacare, right? That's great. More people can get health insurance. It's less expensive. It's free for some people who can't afford it, etc. Except there was no infrastructure. So I'm not kidding. I moved out here and I contacted...
But, like, this was a new thing. of course there's no infrastructure for it. They can't make infrastructure if there's no money to do it, so they had to pass this bill to fund it, to fund the infrastructure to be made. Whatever, okay.
People to get insurance.
I mean, he talks about like, oh, they're not like they're too short-sighted or whatever, but like this is stuff that of course is gonna be have a lot of wrinkles at the start, but it's gonna be ironed out over time. Whatever. Okay.
I filled out the forms. I sent them in. I never heard back. 6 months later, I contacted them. What happened? Do I have insurance? Do I not? No, you don't have insurance. What do you mean? I did everything that I was told to do. I sent you everything. Oh, well, the form just sat in this queue and no one really prompted to look at it. So it's a good thing you called us today. Now we'll start taking action on it. But we need more information from you to qualify. Why didn't you tell me this 6 months ago? Because we just weren't set up. We don't know really what we're doing. I'm serious. That's what happened. That's what I was told.
Yeah, right. They're probably just saying,
So
like,
if I
oh,
had
we're
gotten
swamped
sick,
with
if
a
I
lot
had
of
broken a leg
people.
or anything, I would have had no health insurance and I would have not been able to get care. Or I would have gotten the care and received an insanely high bill for medical care that I wouldn't have been able to afford and would have been financially ruined.
So then why do we need healthcare, right, Phil? If you're talking about like how much the bill is gonna be without it, then why do we need it? Let's get rid of it. Yes.
But Obamacare, let's rush it out there. But there's no infrastructure for it. There's no one hired to handle it. People are going to be submitting for it, and their applications will sit in a queue for 6 months, and no one will look at it. Who cares? Just launch it because Obama said so.
Well, I mean, they can't
That's our,
hire
our
people if it's
American
not a thing yet.
government.
You know,
It's
like
pathetic.
they're gonna be like,
It really
why
is.
is this money going to this thing we don't
So,
even have yet?
anyway.
Huh? Whatever.
That's what annoys me
Okay.
about it. So I see all these electric vehicle ads, and they actually drive me nuts. They do. Like,
Wow.
dude, you don't want
He
everyone
gets-
to get
he
electric
gets triggered
vehicles. If
on-
they did,
on ads.
overnight our grid would be overloaded, and then we'd have no electricity. We need to prepare for it slowly.
Dude, like, again, how much electricity does an electric vehicle truly take? I mean, I think it does take a lot, sure, whatever, but, I mean, everything takes electricity. Your house takes electricity. Multiply that by multiple houses and buildings. And warehouses. Like, you know, he's talking about this, about electric vehicles, but does he know about the cost on the electrical grid with AI? AI, cryptocurrency, NFTs, whatever the fuck, all these things take a lot of the grid. And yet, he's bent up over electric vehicles. At least electric vehicles also at least contribute less carbon in that kind of sphere. What does AI contribute to the environment? Nothing. And it causes more damage. But we have to be careful about the electric vehicles. I think AI and fucking NFTs and cryptocurrency, all this stuff, is a far more danger to the grid than fucking electric vehicles, just by sheer comparison. Because AI is being spread out more and more and more and more and more. Like, if you really want to talk about the environment and this and that and how we should be more careful about the electric grid and this and that, he should really not be on the side of AI. He should be against it. He shouldn't be using the AI lights. But he uses AI in everything.
Let's do an infrastructure upgrade in the next 5 to 10 years to change it so that we can now have the capacity for all these electric vehicles. Who's looking into that? No one. No one is.
How do you know no one's looking
We'll
at
just handle it when it happens.
But how does he know nobody's looking into this? Does he think nobody is considering other alternatives? There's all these other... I mean, like, I think, like, it was Obama or Biden? I think it was Biden's administration that made it more, like, feasible to have solar panels and alternative energy. And that's probably going to be going away with Trump, so there's going to be literally nobody looking into this, basically. Like, that's all going to be gone. So this thing of nobody's doing this is going to actually be a reality, because these departments that are looking into it are going to be gone and dismantled, and that's going to be great, right?
Instead of preparing for the inevitable issue, just deal with it when it happens, right?
That's
well,
what
that
they're-
really worked during COVID, didn't it?
Oh
That
my
was
god.
the best response possible.
Oh my god.
But we don't learn. Humanity doesn't learn from
I'm
errors.
losing my
apparently.
mind.
We don't learn from history. We just repeat the same errors.
Because,
and
like,
history
there's
repeats
so
itself
many
over and over
caveats
again.
to the fucking pandemic, my guy. The only thing that
I
Trump
received a
did was
dollar tip.
allowed
Someone
us to
says,
have
here's a quick one.
vaccines.
I'm hovering over the purchase button for Black Ops 6.
And
It's
then
on
the
sale,
only thing that
so I'm
vaccines
asking
are
you, is it
bad,
worth
of
it?
course.
Depends
oh
on
my
what
god.
you're looking for in the game. First of
we're
all,
living in hell.
you know, even though people crap on Call of Duty every year, ultimately it is one of the best values for the dollar, and here's what I mean.
Oh my god, best values of my ass.
The last minute stuff.
Okay, I don't think it's in this. It must have been in something else. Watch, it was like in a night stream. Maybe it was in a night stream. If that's the case, I wouldn't be able to see it. Oh well. Let's do what we came here to do. We got derailed a lot. I'm on the main, right? I'm on fucking... Yeah, I'm on main. I almost thought I was on the full screen. That would have been embarrassing. Alright, let's keep going.
So,
by the way, if you made it through that little political segment, this is your reward, I guess. There you go. Hope you like that song. I made it myself. Oh, you know what? I should brag about this. Guys. Greek tradition, every new year you cut a cake. They call it a chereki. I can't pronounce the word. Okay, sorry. And you cut it up into pieces. Like you cut up one for God, the house, your family, like mom, dad, brother, whatever the fuck. You cut them all in pieces. Then if you find the coin, that means you're gonna get good luck. It's gonna be a good year for you, whatever the fuck. And guys, I got the coin. I got it. I got my slice, and I was like, I got the coin. This is my second coin. I got one either last year or the year before. So I got two coins, baby. One from a previous year and one for this year. So it's official. 2025 is my year, guys. Now it's my resurgence. Now it's my turn.
no.
Where's his coin? You know what? He never got a coin. I don't think Italians do this. It's only a Greek thing. Because Greeks are cooler than Italians, obviously. So, clearly, it's my year of resurgence, finally. Meanwhile, this guy got nothing. He didn't get a coin.
Deal regarding my year-end series for 2024. Okay? I've done some work. I know exactly how it's going to go this year.
He's done work, guys.
And there are some changes. Okay? First off, it will be live streamed. We did dabble with the idea yesterday that I would do an edited video.
The dabbling was, I want to do this again. A dude said, you're not going to make money if you do it. Okay, I'm not going to do it. That's him dabbling.
I think maybe eventually that's the route I will go, because now I'm learning
eventually
DaVinci Resolve and actually, enjoying doing it, and I'd like to maybe jump back into using it for stuff like that. But
remember all these rants he said, streaming is way harder than editing videos. It is real talk. And now, oh man, I can't do edited videos right now.
FYI, I think it makes more sense to live stream it. Someone made the good point yesterday that live streams are where my business is. My on-demand videos don't necessarily get tons of views. It makes more sense for my year-end series to be a live stream. I agree. After thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, the person's correct. So it is going to be live stream.
Yeah,
now, how's it going to go?
Get named.
I have narrowed it down. Listen to this. The top 20 worst.
Oh, by the way, announcement. Guys, where's my playlist? You should be able to see your playlist. Here we go. Guys, I finished it. I have finished making a playlist of all of DSP's game awards. All of them. Yes! I wanted to do this. Like, I started working on last year. I lost some drive to it because it is so hard. Not hard. Tedious. That's the word. It was so tedious going through and finding playlists, putting the videos in, and sometimes I would forget, did I put part 6 up or did I put 5 up? Because I wanted it in order. And I did it, guys. I finally did it. And it's all in order. This is like the first one, and it goes all the way to the ones from 2023. I want to do a stream of watching all of these, and I finally can. So I will do a stream. I will do a YouTube stream of me watching this entire playlist. It's not gonna be in one stream, it's gonna be multiple streams, but I am gonna be watching these in the coming weeks, and we're gonna end it with the ones he's doing for 2024. Now, I hope to do this. I know I'm probably gonna be starting this way after DSP does his game awards, whatever the fuck. But this is the playlist I've been working on. I did it, guys. So you're welcome. You're welcome, everyone.
Like, it's been tough. You know,
It's been
life
tough.
It's been tough over the last decade. It has. Best games. That's correct. 20 good, 20 bad. But it's
Wait.
worst and best.
Worst and best. Worst and best. Worst and best. Worst and best.
Games. That's correct. 20 good, 20 bad. But it's not what you're
20
thinking.
bad.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, this year, it's going to be the top 20 most disappointing playthroughs.
Oh, now it's disappointing. We went from bad to disappointing, and it's 20. And this is a mad.
And the top 20
Listen to
best
this.
playthroughs.
This is a downgrade, and all this is him to finally cope, or to give reason to talk about support and the audience attention. Because when you watch his Game of the Years, especially the ones that he was streaming, he kept talking about the audience, support, and people would say, Phil, that has nothing to do with the quality of a game. And now he got his little silver bullet.
It's called playthrough, so I'm talking about the playthrough, idiot.
And he doesn't have to worry about beating games anymore because he can just say he's talking about the playthrough. This is trash. And you know, to a degree, this was the only piece of content I kind of look forward to. Not as much as Todd and Aaron. Todd and Aaron is the GOAT. That I am always looking forward to. But this was the one thing DSP does, and he found a way to ruin it. This dude is trash. He ruins everything.
Of the year.
And he was
That's
like,
right.
And
You might say, wait, what?
I hate this. Of the year. It's like, fucking not. Fucking shut up.
So it's not Game of the Year awards? No, it's not Game of the Year awards. I'm not doing it that way this year. Now, you might wonder why I'm changing the format and what does this mean for the countdowns? Okay.
Because it's lazy and bullshit. He wanted to include Baldur's Gate 3, but now he changed the rules to this. Like, this is such trash. Because he doesn't do game reviews anymore. And the thing is, you know, he used to brag.
You're not gonna know what my favorite game is because, like, I don't do reviews anymore.
But now, literally, you can just watch the streams and already know. Okay, this is gonna be a disappointing playthrough. Kind of bullshit. This is a terrible change.
Here's the deal. 2024 was a very different, unprecedented year
No, it
for
wasn't.
gaming.
No, it actually isn't. Even by its own fucking dumbass standards. Because guess what, guys? You go through. I'm sure if you watch his previous videos about Game of the Year during the years, he said there was nothing going on. He said there was nothing going on, so it was hard this year. Wow, so different. But that's like what it is. Is just another year of this, and come on.
Why?
Why?
Well,
Why?
let's be honest here. A ton of the games that came out in 2024 were very underwhelming, or for various reasons. Me playing those games just didn't hit with the impact that normally it would. We've talked about some of the reasons for this, one of which being RPG overload. In a year when there were just far too many incredibly lengthy RPGs hitting at once, there was no way that I could enjoy them all, and you guys lost interest. That should be
What?
talked about. That should be too many incredibly lengthy RPGs hitting at once. There was no way that I could enjoy them all, and you guys lost interest.
He didn't play half of them though. He didn't play Persona 3 Reload. He didn't play Grand Blue Fantasy or Relink. He didn't play Metaphor. And I'm tired of the like, you know, this is the one thing I'm kind of annoyed with 2024, because even my IRL friend was saying, "Oh, there's been nothing in gaming," and it's like, there's been good RPGs, and honestly, like, I understand, like, they're too long, and sometimes you may not want to put the time to play this long RPG. I get that, but I mean, if you don't play a lot of games, then why do you want to keep buying these like quick games over and over? Like, you know, like, I could play an RPG for a year. Like, I'm taking my time with Metaphor, and I don't care it's taking me a long ass time to beat it, because I like just playing little bursts of it, whatever. And it's like this race to the finish is like, man, I don't know.
That should be talked about. That should be brought up, and that should be observed in the countdown. Just because a game is good or bad doesn't necessarily mean it amounted to a good or bad playthrough. You see what I'm saying? On the flip side of that.
But how come? But this is kind of bullshit though, because DSP has constantly said, "Well, this is a good game. It's a good playthrough." It's like when he's playing the game currently, he says, "Well, this is a good game, man," and all this other bullshit. Whatever. Okay.
There were some games that I played in 2024 that I never expected would have been good and blew me away with the quality of the game and the playthrough that I did.
Oh yeah,
and I want to call that out too. All right?
Little Crab's
So,
Treasure? Whatever.
here's the deal. It ain't going to just be, oh, here's the top 10 games that I think are the best of the year. That's not what we're doing. First of all, I do feel like that's just so simplistic, and it's not.
Dude, this is simplistic. You're literally just basing your opinion on playthroughs. Like that, if anything, that's even farther removed from playing the game and having an opinion on a game. This is actually more dumb. Because it's not even like personable anymore. It's not even like, you're not even talking about the quality of the game, you're talking about the quality of the playthrough. Like, dude, that's like so like lame. Like, we're really gonna say, well, this was a good play? Like, then shut up. I don't know.
Representative of the year
Again,
that we had in
this is all narcissism. This is all egotistical. He only wants to talk about his experience with these games.
2024. The year didn't even feel like that, did it? Like all year,
Wait, what?
I do feel like that's just so simplistic, and it's not representative of the year that we had in 2024. The year didn't even feel like that, did it? Like all year, people would be like, what are the best games this year? And like, duh, maybe this one, maybe this one.
What?
Of the year that we had in 2024. The year didn't even feel like that, did it? Like all year, people would be like, what are the best games this year? And like, duh, maybe this one, maybe this one.
Duh. I mean, I think Metaphor is a pretty good game. I didn't beat the game, but I've been enjoying it. It feels like a classic SMT game to a degree. I mean, it's modern and has Persona aspects to it, but also has some like, it's actually a more unique game if you think about it, as far as like Atlas games are concerned, because it takes aspects of SMT and aspects of Persona and it kind of puts them in a game together, and it's a unique combination because it has the S-Link system from Persona that gives you benefits in gameplay, but it has the SMT style of like, we're gonna give you like very weird designs for dungeons. Like, oh, you're gonna have like, you have to beat these enemies in 3 turns or it's game over. Oh, you, like, it's interesting. And guess what? It has what DSP loves, auto saves. The auto saves are insane. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like the auto saves kind of break the game. Because there are times where it's like, oh fuck, like I need to stop playing the game, but I'm like in the middle of this and I'm not near a save room, and this oh fuck, I would have to quit the game anyway, and then I would go back and it would just pick off right there. And it's like, damn, these autosaves are kind of nuts. Like I kind of think the autosaves are like so forgiving, and this is something that DSP would love. The autosave is like the best part of the game when it comes to convenience. But I still try at the very end. I only, in my opinion, as far as like the autosaves are concerned, there are parts where I'm like, okay, this is like a natural stopping point, like in front of a boss door, or because that also has a save area too, or whatever. But whatever. It is what it is. This is a hard game. It's not like baby mode, but the autosaves are very, very interesting.
It was hard for you to even count on one hand the amount of good games that were coming out.
Hand. Usually people do
so
this.
because of that, how could you possibly do a valid Game of the Year award?
This is bad.
You pretty much
apparently.
can't.
You do this, it's like a middle finger. So he's doing it for me. He's censoring himself for me, man.
So, on the flip side of that, with the disappointing playthroughs of the year, there were some games that I was, very much enjoying. But for some odd reason, the playthroughs just weren't resonating with the audience. I don't know why.
So yeah,
because
but,
I was really...
So we watched the year end for his opinion. And now we're going to get an opinion of what his opinion as to why other people didn't like the playthrough. That's so cool, man.
Enjoying the games and having a great time with them, but the audience wasn't. Okay? Also, there were some cases where at first a game was going really, really well, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just kind of tanked. And we're like, what? What happened there? How could you start at such a high and then plummet? Now, here's the thing. If I was doing a worst games of the year countdown, would that game be included? No. But
that is... What year was Dragon Quest? What year was Dragon Quest? I want to say it was 2018. I'm going to say 2018.
all right, ladies.
Oh boy, the fucking music. Let's see. Fighting Axe Layer. Street Fighter. Street Fighter? Really? Okay. What about this? This doesn't have fucking... Oh my god. Smash Brothers. Okay, Dragon Ball Fighters. Where is Dragon Quest? Where is it? Oh, here we go. So it was in the Game of the Year.
Minded, they won't give anything a shot. Dragon Quest 11. And I hate to say it, but there's some people who are just so close-minded, they won't give anything a shot.
So close-minded.
Dragon Quest 11 for me, like literally hit it on all fronts when it comes to what I'm looking for in a JRPG. First of all,
Thuggins, oh man. Let's see. Best game of 2019. Disappointing games of 2019. Let's see what's in here.
All right, ladies
and gentlemen.
Wolfenstein. Okay, let's listen to Wolfenstein for a bit.
All right. So without further ado, the most disappointing games of the year countdown, starting with number 16, which just happens to be a little game by the name of Wolfenstein Youngblood. Now, you may be seeing double. That's because obviously...
Oh, wait a second. Death Stranding. Let's do this one. This is a better one.
Down to the nitty-gritty. The Stranding. Oh my god. Game this year. Some people really loved it. Some people really hated it. I was kind of middle of the road on Death Stranding.
Middle of the road.
Okay. Now, allow me to tell you what I like and don't like about Death Stranding.
I'm going to bang the mic.
I like the story. I like the motion capture, the acting, everyone who's played this game, and it's trying to steal and convoluted. Is it fun? Fun and cool. Exactly what you see here. It's not play into the game. At them or even understood them, they're pretty good. Take a look at Metal Gear Solid sneaking. Death Stranding is not fun. This gameplay was disconnected, but the feeling of the stranding of.
Okay, whatever. So this was at least about the game, but this is on both his Game of the Year and Disappointing Game of the Year, so it was kind of silly. But that was like all his entire playthrough. Because I think he did that with Final Fantasy VII as well. But Days Gone, he also said it was boring. Whatever.
I want to be fair and I want to observe exactly what happened in 2024 with the games that I play. I feel like this is really the only way to do it. And quite frankly, with the way the games industry is going, this could very well be where I have to do it every year like this. You know what I mean? Like, if we keep having underwhelming years of game releases.
See how lame this is, though? Because this is your opinion of games that you enjoyed or whatever. That's like what Game Awards are, basically. And now he's saying, well, this year was so weird, man. So you liked every game. There wasn't a game that you thought was bad. But he skipped a lot of games. Okay.
That are just not that good. AAA companies that are floundering and failing and releasing half-finished, broken, half-cocked, rehashed games that no one really cares about. It's going to be hard to have a Game of the Year countdown.
But how, though? Like, again, he's played games he liked. He could talk about those games. And then for the bad games, they say, this game wasn't finished, it was pretty bad, whatever. Like, this is not really an excuse. This is just another thing to brag about, another ego trip.
I think this is the way to do it. So like I said, there's going to be 20 of the best playthroughs and 20 of the most disappointing playthroughs of the year. That's going to be my 2 countdowns, all right? Now, the way I'm planning to do it is live streaming it and basically counting down 20 to 1, and then each time that I bring up a game, showing you some footage of the game in the background while I'm here superimposed over it like this, talking and telling you why I felt that that was either one of the best playthroughs or most disappointing playthroughs that I did of the year. I think that's the best way to go about it. And therefore, everyone will get the idea of what I'm trying to relay because I'll be doing that live commentary over it as opposed to,
okay,
you know, me just doing like a pre-edited deal. Okay. And the other thing is, and this is very much true, because it's live streamed, people have the opportunity to react. For example, I very well may announce that this game was one of my best playthroughs of the year, and then people might chime in and say, "Yeah, I agree or disagree. You know, here's why I really liked it or didn't like it." Or same thing, vice versa. I might say this is one of my most disappointing playthroughs of the year, and people can give their opinions on the game, on how I covered it, and what happened with the playthrough.
The last countdown.
To be quite frank, I'm
Every
still
countdown
confused
he said this
about certain games, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like, I thought for sure that playthrough was going to blow it out, knock it out of the park, because people really were hyped and anticipated.
Dude, he focused on the card minigame, and he wasn't like fun to watch doing that. Like, I don't know how you could make that, like, because it's kind of a fun minigame. I kind of grew to like it because the game eventually forces you to do it, but it was very clear someone told him, Phil, you're gonna need to get good at the card game because the game will require you to play it. So he wanted to get all the good cards immediately. Even though you could just go, when they put you in that ship or whatever, you could just buy cards. Okay.
My Final Fantasy VII Remake playthrough, it did incredibly well. So I'm shocked that Rebirth just tanked and people said, we're bored, don't play it. Like, literally that stream, I was sitting here, I still remember, I was sitting right here. And I'm playing the game and I'm enjoying myself. Content, right? And I turn back to the chat. And keep in mind, I wasn't co-streaming at the time. And I turn to the chat, and the chat is literally sitting there talking about college basketball.
Why don't you talk with them?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
This is a game stream. You're supposed to be hanging out with me. We're supposed to be having a social.
So that's gonna be on the disappointing playthrough because people talked about sports. Then why don't you participate in the conversation?
Literally, the chat is just sitting there talking about college basketball. And when I asked what was going on, The response was very simple. The game is boring. It's too slow paced. You know, if you were just doing streamlined story, it would be better, but all this content that you're doing is boring.
He could have done that, though. See, this is so stupid. So how is it their fault or the game's fault? He doesn't have to do the side missions. But he kept saying, like, weird things like,
I'm doing it because I have to do it for the game
or whatever, and because he was trying to dance around the fact that someone must have told him that he had to do the card minigame later on in the game, but he didn't want to say it. But he said weird things about it. But you don't need it. Didn't need to do it like in a lame fashion. He did hours of it because he does like an hour of main story, an hour of side missions. Why not just do a side mission story, side mission, whatever the fuck? But he never did that. Whatever.
And, you know, we're just not entertained. We're not engaged. We don't want to talk about the game. We don't care about the game. If you stopped playing it right now and did anything else, we'd be more entertained. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
And that's the response I got for a game that I thought was going to be one of the biggest ones. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's the game's fault, not DSP's.
You know, that's what I mean. That's definitely, you know, that's going to be one of my most
like, you
disappointing
realize you don't
playthroughs.
have to do every side mission in any game, right?
Why fully it didn't work.
Like, how is that the game's fault? How dare the game have things I don't need to do?
That'll be one of the opportunities we have to come to that realization. Okay? So anyway, I finished narrowing down the 20 games or the 20 playthroughs, I should say, for each side. I've numbered the disappointing ones. I've gotten the video footage of the disappointing ones. Now I have to number and rank the best playthroughs, and then I have to get the video footage for those, and then I have to import all of that into OBS, and then I'll be good to go. So there's still some work to do.
I mean, if this is going to be what he's doing, he could do a very easy thing. This is so easy, a baby could do it. He could just, like, put into a playlist his playthrough on YouTube, and he can make the playlist either private or unlisted. Probably private would be the way to go. He could private it, and then just watch it. He realizes he could put videos in two playlists, right? It doesn't have to be one or nothing.
Probably another, night to 2 nights of work to do to set it up and get it all working. So I'm not ready yet. But I may have opportunity to get this ready for you within the next day or two. And if I do, then we could do it as early as Sunday night. We could begin this. Okay? Which I'd be down for. Sunday night, maybe we do the most disappointing playthroughs countdown. And then maybe Monday night, we do the best playthroughs of the year countdown. Since there's 20, it's probably going to take
I like how on the schedule it says
night streams to do
either the year-end series
and that's what I mean. Like this
Call
week,
of Duty.
Sadly, normally I would say, oh, there's going to be a chill stream of Flight Sim. Then we're going to do Call of Duty. Then there's going to be some Street Fighter. This week, the night streams are all going to be basically kind of spoken for until later in the week. And then if we do that marathon, it's another day where we're not doing a night stream. So this week, we might have to forego quite a lot of the late night content that we've been doing. We've got the new wrestling commentary show, everything to work, but it looks like it's probably going to be
Is there anything else I want to talk about?
Where they were in the Thunderdome 5 years.
I don't care about
people
wrestling.
Engage in support. They not. You don't know. All that'll be coming soon. New year, right? Tuesday night is going to be a weird one. All I'm going to say, doubly slow January. Okay?
All right. I think. I feel like there was something I wanted to talk about.
We're watching a, reality show like Shark Tank or freaking
Shark Tank.
Relaxing at night after playing a mobile game in his life about activity on the internet. And we wish only the drama hound
we're doing weird
said
shit.
Mobile game. No one would that you play mobile games. People not only liked it in front of the eyes of thousands of people, I showed champions publicly. So, the reason that WWE Champions was a thing is because...
Oh, yeah, because someone said, why don't you play WWE Champions or something? Even though when he finished it, he said, well, we could go back to it, guys, if you guys want to. Someone wants to go back to it.
Okay, here's the real reason why I play the game.
And it's like bullshit.
Because for me, I wanted to show people it didn't actually matter. Any of the bullshit that these...
It didn't matter. He dropped $2,000 on a sock account. It didn't matter. but he was so quick and so willing to drop money on a side account with no hesitation.
People had so high
And the fact, like, you see him play games. He's a bumbling idiot. He's like,
Where do I go? Huh? What do I do? Guys, tell me what I'm supposed to do.
but then in like WWE, it's like, all right, you go there, you do this, you do that. Look at this. Oh, look at that, man. Now this is gonna happen, and then boom, look at this, guys. Look at this. Look how cool this is. Wow, bing, bing, boom. And he's like, he was like going on and on. Like this was like the most like knowledgeable stream you've ever seen from this guy. It was like a different person. But then he plays like Mario. Where do I go? What do I do? But he was like an expert in fucking WWE champions. But again, he's omitting the real reason why people were making it a big deal. He was begging for money, and the money was going to a mobile game.
hyper focused on over all these years that it never mattered. And so by me playing WWE champions publicly, by me showing you how to play the game and all the knowledge I had of it, by spending on it right in front of the eyes of thousands of people, I showed people that none of it made any difference and it had no power.
Dude, he had fucking people in his chat literally bragging for years how they don't care that his money went to a mobile game. They all said this, and he would respond with,
Okay, but I don't play mobile games. I don't play WWE Champions. I never lie. I'm not a liar. I don't play mobile games. It's not true.
all this and that every day. He even said, like, in a clip somewhere, I think it was in the Doing the King documentary, where he literally said, well, I guess some people like to lie. I don't like to lie. I like being honest. I think honesty is the best policy. And you guys say you want me to say I play this game when it's not true, and this and that. And now he's like, yeah, man, no one cares. See, I play the game. Oh my god.
Power over me whatsoever. And people not only liked it, they gave me money to spend on it. You understand that?
You understand
People were
that?
like, not only do we not care that you play mobile games, we're going to actively give you hundreds of dollars during.
People were doing that before, and you yelled at them saying you don't play the game. Why did you do that then? Why? See, like, look, think about it. Why was he so nervous during that time when he was being accused of this? It's almost like he knew at the time it would sound kind of silly to say, I need money for my bills. By the way, I play mobile games and I spend money on it. So instead of just like saying that, he said, I don't play mobile games, you idiots. And now, since he admitted it, see, it doesn't matter. No one cared. No one cared even during the heyday. And he's omitting how it looked to say this at the time. It's so easy to say this now versus during the pinnacle of it all. Come on.
The streams to then spend on that stream playing said mobile game. No.
But this was also, by the way, during a time he was being bankrolled, by the way. He was hitting goals, he was doing all this stuff. So he played WWE Champions during that time. During it! He was playing WWE Champions as he was making a lot of money as it is. And he's like, see, I played it, no one cared. Like, dude, you didn't play it when you were, like, financially tight. Like, you know what? Next time he says, guys, I'm tight for money, he should play WWE Champions to show us all that it doesn't matter. Why did he play during the bankruptcy? Like, this dude is unreal.
No one with a brain in their head that functioned rationally cared about WWE champions. It's only the drama hound people who are absolutely screaming for internet drama. Oh, we want to see the downfall of someone on the internet, and we wish them pain and suffering so we...
No, we just said that you're a liar, and then you said I was a liar. And you have enough dents that are so dedicated to loving you, they don't care. And this is why I say DSP is so lucky his audience has like one brain cell, and I'm being generous by saying that.
we can feel better about ourselves because we're miserable fucking wretches whose lives are
Miserable
meaningless, who have
wretches.
no positivity, no
Well, look, for people's lives that are meaningless, he seems to be caring a lot about what we think.
meaningful relationships, nothing of worth or value, and we're so upset about that. We want because we're miserable fucking wretches whose lives are meaningless, who have no positivity, no meaningful relationships, nothing of worth or value, and we're so upset. This guy's constantly whining. Wah, wah. Shut the fuck up. God damn. Wah, wah. Said about that, we want to see Darkside Phil fail.
Yeah,
so let's
that's-
make
that's
everything in
right.
his life about mobile games, even though to me, it's one tiny little compartmentalized part of my life. Literally
That you spent money on during a time where you were going through a bankruptcy, by the way.
sitting here playing a mobile game on my phone while I'm doing something else. You want to know when I played WWE Champions?
When I'm on the toilet, taking a steamy dump.
That's what he's gonna say. That's what he's gonna say because he loves poop. He loves it.
When I'm relaxing
Oh.
at night after a day of work. Maybe I'm sitting on the couch with my wife and we got something on TV. You know, we're watching a, reality show like Shark Tank or freaking
Oh,
a
man.
baking
A reality show. Again, he called people mouth rulers who watch reality TV and they're harming society or some shit. But he watches this and plays mobile games.
show
Yes.
or, we're just watching something randomly. Or maybe we're listening to some music.
I thought you want to spend time with your wife and you have like tight time and you don't spend a lot of time. But now he's just saying, yeah, I play it when I'm sitting with my wife and we're hanging out. So then you do spend time with your family, but he wants to spend more time because he's greedy.
Music.
Like,
Right.
he literally acts as if he spends like 1 minute with his wife and then he's off to the next thing. Meanwhile, here's like, yeah, I relaxed with her. We're sitting down and I'm just hanging out, playing mobile games.
Having a drink at night. You pop it open, you play it for a little bit.
Oh, he drinks at night. Another thing he said he doesn't do. Ah, yes.
It's WWE Champions. It's not some ultra serious major part of my life where I'm sitting there investing.
When people say he plays WWE Champions, they weren't saying that he locks himself in the closet and he's like, Hulk Hogan, come on, Hogan. Come on, Hogan. Come on, brother. People are just saying, like, yeah, he plays the game and he dumps money on it when he's tight on money. Very funny. He kind of omits that part of why people brought it up in the first place. Very, very interesting.
10 hours a day playing it, dropping thousands of dollars. These people are fucking nuts. Get it?
People are fucking nuts. Get it?
They made it all up. They
made it-
over-exaggerated.
They made it all up. Jesus, man. We made it all up, guys. That's right. We made it up. We doctored it so hard that DSP even admitted it.
To this day, they are still doing it. And it's completely fabricated nonsense. It has nothing to do with reality.
Okay. You know, as I think I said this before, but let's even believe him that he sold his account, correct? He sold his account. Now he's someone else on WWE Champions, and, maybe he's spending a modest amount of money, whatever. The fact of the matter is he lied for multiple years, and made it a big point to tell us that he's not a liar. He's being honest with us and this and that. The things he's saying now. So why should we believe him if he was able to keep up a lie for multiple years? Like, it doesn't make him look good regardless. Even if he sold it. And I don't even believe he sold it. I don't believe him. But as I said, even if he did, it doesn't matter, because the fact of it all, he lied for multiple years. So who is to say he's not lying now? And this is the guy that talks about all this time, about like, guys, all these other content creators, they lie to you all the time, unlike me, who's really honest. But he lied. And now he's acting as if we should give him another chance? He's been caught in multiple lies anyway. Whatever.
And the best part about it all is even if it were all true, which it's not, even if everything they said was true, people still don't care.
So it's not true that he lied. Dude, there are literal streams of you saying, I'm never playing mobile games because I want to spend time with my wife. And it's valuable time. And now you're saying casually, yeah, I play mobile games. Oh man, he is so lucky his fans are fucking stupid.
And that's what me playing WWE Champions proved, that their broken fucking narrative was completely invalid.
So, he really only played the game for the trolls, not for his audience, by the way. I just want everyone to just think about that. He played a game not for his own audience, but for the trolls, to prove to them that his fans would still support him, even though it was wrapped around, guys, I'm gonna play it, it's gonna be funny, and it's gonna be cool. And this and that. He even told people to join his faction, contribute to that faction, work on that faction, whatever, blah, 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 or they'd be kicked. And now, it's over. So not only did he waste his money on a SOG account, he got other people to waste money on a SOG account. But this is cool, though. He owned the trolls, guys. Yeah, he definitely did.
Completely freed me from their bullshit narrative. And people stopped hating me because I exposed the bullshit.
What's the bullshit?
Get it? That's what Champions was about.
Why does he tell us the bullshit? That what we're saying is all not true. What are we saying? The only thing he's probably gonna bring up is that we don't think you sold the account. Well, then prove it. I'm sorry, DSP, you lied for 7 years. You can't just say, I'm not taking you at your word anymore. Now I want proof. Because that's what DSP would do. He always says that we need to provide proof for shit we've said. Oh, the escort, right? We found proof for that, so why didn't you believe us after that? No, that's the end all be all for that. Okay, but why do we need to show proof for all this stuff, but he doesn't need to show proof? And then when he can show proof, he doesn't. Why didn't he show June proof when he did the documentary? Why did he withhold showing proof or confer with June the King to find a way to validate that he sold his account? Probably for 2 reasons. One, it's against TOS of WWE Champions to do that in the first place, so he doesn't want to get banned from the game. 2, he didn't sell the account. Because it's also kind of sus that it maintained the login streak. Now, of course, you can make the deduction that, well, maybe like if you're selling the account, you tell them when you log in to keep the streak going so they can keep getting the benefits. But you're telling me that this person who he sold it is so perfect that he could just log in and do what he needs to do at the right time all the time. Like, they have nothing going on in their life. Maybe.
So after we played WWE Champions for a couple of months, it wore off. There was no more gimmick. No one cared about it anymore. No one is hating on DSP for playing WWE Champions anymore. Nobody gives a shit that I ever played.
Being a liar.
So it's a dead topic. You notice no one brings it up anymore. No one comes into the chat. No one's making jokes about down from the rafters. No one cares. No one ever should have.
You know, I would be curious to see how many people who come in talking about WWE Champions or down from the rafters and shit like that would be banned. Or would be at least seen. Like, maybe they wouldn't be banned, but he definitely suspects them of being a troll. So they would have a fair shot versus anyone else in that chat.
That's the truth. No one ever should have cared about it. It never was anything of significance. The one big dramatic gotcha that they had on me was a nothing burger and never was anything.
It was a nothing burger. He lied for 7 years. I mean, his chat is really stupid, and I guess they like that. They like being lied to. Because if there's one thing DSP loves the most, is he loves it when people lie to him, right? DSP would never ever go on rants or get mad if people were to lie to him.
So, We're done. That's all in the
We're
past.
done.
I don't see a single reason why anyone would care about WWE champions in the future. I don't think so. I don't think anyone would give a shit.
All right.
Okay. That's true. The Hogan pulls were hype. Hype once. Then we got Hogan. That was pretty hype. It was
Okay.
so there's really no reason to keep
No reason to keep playing.
shocked at the transactions that take place behind the scenes.
Oh,
Say
let's
is,
listen to this.
you would be shocked.
Shocked.
You would be absolutely shocked at the transactions that take place behind the scenes in mobile games that are not allowed, but literally happen every single day. Like I told the story, but I'll say it one more time. The reason I knew that you could sell an account in WWE Champions, even though it was against the rules, was that there was a high-ranking prominent player, like one of the leaders of one of the big factions in the game, who announced publicly to the entire game he was retiring, but then all of a sudden his account kept playing. You found it playing in events. You found it ranking. You're like, the guy said he's retiring. He sold it.
Why didn't say his name?
And then
How does he know he sold it, by the way? What, that he still played the game? To what extent does he mean that when he said he retired? He could say, I retired, and still play the game. Maybe he retired as participating in factions. I don't know.
and everyone's, oh, so you could sell accounts, and then people found out how to do it, you know. So it's crazy because you don't think it's allowed. It's against the rules, and then you could just do it. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I get the feeling mobile game stuff like that is actually
But that's like, that makes no sense though. He's talking about transactions in mobile games, and I'm thinking, okay, so he's gonna talk about like the microtransactions or whatever. But he talks about a user side thing that users do. So that's not really related to the mobile game. That's just what people do. I mean, people do that with like MMOs as well. Oh, okay.
quite big business. And I would know that. I've had very limited
How? Oh my god. Dude, he really shouldn't have said anything like this. He sold his account, supposedly. How does he not know? What?
oh, okay. I get the feeling mobile game stuff like that is actually quite big business. And I would know that. I've had very limited experience in it, but I get the feeling that the buying and selling of accounts, the farming of an account, it's probably big business for people.
Okay. Very cool to listen to. I mean, technically he's right. He only sold one account, correct? Oh my god, can we stop seeing your foot, please?
Okay.
Nope.
So
Oh,
I think we're
that's
done here. We talked about all of
Whatever.
that. Gameplay schedule for the year. 0.
What? Zero? Oh. Contributions. Okay. Well, no one cares, right? Let's skip ahead. Let's see what he says here. Oh god,
We're
doing
now a
mods.
premium member.
No.
So, have an EXE.
Oh, he's a premium member now. Cool. He wasted money on this. Yes. All right. I think that's pretty much it for the most part. What? You know, what, maybe I could find maybe it was a Snort Hogan clip. Technology and Meltdown, Guzav on Trolls, Jamal on Kick.
Well, let me. Come on, thanks. Pink.
No, that's not it. Maybe it was an Memology video. Yeah, I think it was a clip in a video. Like maybe.
In the YouTube chat says the only reason that I'm
Oh.
going to this California
Here we
burrito
go.
on Friday is because because apparently they have a half price sale for its launch, and I guess he thinks I'm a cheapskate. He says there's an Alberto's Jr. right on the same block as me, and their food is much better. I should go there. I wasn't even aware that they have a half price sale. I'm not paying attention to that. Dude, $20 on this shock
Yes.
has nothing to do with pricing. The fact that
Right.
you would basically accuse me of being a cheapskate with all the money that I
How dare you accuse me of being a cheapskate? Mr.
It's not expensive. This was cheap. I got it on the cheap. I got an El Cheapo. I got this on the cheap.
But now he's bragging about wailing
spent
out.
on my streams in the last several months is pretty ludicrous. I mean, maybe if you were talking like years
It's ludicrous in the sense of he bought a streaming PC. That is a ludicrous amount of money. It's in the thousands. But like that was a budget you had to pay. So like that's not ludicrous because it's a PC. I think it's ludicrous that he bought multiple stands when he didn't need to. I mean, that's pretty ludicrous, but whatever.
ago, sure, but certainly not in 2025. Bone-in chicken is work. I love these people
Bone-in
who
chicken
make
is
like these
work.
names that obviously are like ridiculously rare references to something I've said. Like I know for a fact in the past I've said, I don't like eating chicken wings because having the
Oh, so
bones of
this
the
was the
chicken
nice
it's too
stream.
much work and mess. You eat them and now you get them all over the place. You get your hands covered. If I'm gonna eat chicken, I'll have boneless chicken, right? That's what I say. Now I do eat bone-in chicken. It's just at home. It's baked chicken. I don't want to go out and get
What?
like wings. I don't like them. So this person makes a
So-
name.
So this makes no sense. See how insecure he is because he complained about having bone-in chicken and this and that, but now he's like, well, if I want bone-in chicken, I'll eat baked chicken. When I go out, I don't want bone in my wings. I mean, it's still kind of silly to say that because you could also buy baked chicken without the bone. You realize that, right, Philip? Okay.
Bone-in chicken is work. Like this means something. Like this is some meaningful thing.
It's
the
just
same thing
a
like how
meme,
these people
dude.
hyper focus on
Oh
dumb
my
stories
god,
like
you hyper focus on shit. This dude hyper focus on Rich having a mic in his face, as DSP has the same brand and an arm in his face. Okay.
the Wolverine figure.
Okay,
And then they
whatever,
hyper
figure.
focus on it.
Yeah,
And then
because it's funny that you call your parents fucking stupid for buying the toy you want, and you couldn't be patient. And then he said that, oh, if you see a toy, you fucking buy it, man. Okay. And this is coming from the guy, by the way, who says that kids are too entitled. They're too entitled. They need to learn the value of patience. But if you see a toy, you fucking buy it, man. Yes.
make memes about it.
And they hyper focus on it.
And they can't stop talking about it.
And they hyper focus on it. And they hyper
What's he
focus
saying?
on it. And they hyper focus on it. And they hyper
Why is he like hyping up, hyper focusing on things?
focus on it. And they can't stop talking about it.
It's almost like there's a name for someone like that.
I hate when he does this kind of shit. Look at this dumb shit. It's fucking. I did a name for it. And he looks at the camera like this. Like, why don't we find some
You know what's
bricks?
funny? One set of my RGBs is the pink. That's the same color as the word frequency.
Oh,
And the
boy.
other color of
Is
my
red.
RGBs. Jamal on Kick, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Jamal on Kick, what the fuck are you doing? Did you do this on purpose? I mean, this is like useless what he's doing. So I don't know.
It's useless
Probably
what he's
some
doing.
for the night. He said that's probably why he also asked to try to get into the Discord tonight. Because he's probably some moron. He says, "Can I join the Discord? You don't have to say." Well, if you didn't want me to say it, you shouldn't have put it in the body of the tip. You
Right?
understand?
Get it?
You should have said, "Hey DSP, you don't have to say this," but like you literally said
Are you
you
kidding?
don't have to say it at the end of the tip message
Okay.
after I've already read the message out loud. That's not very effective, Jamal.
Isn't it so? You know, this has happened before, and he was like, "Oh, I wasn't supposed to read that. Oops, sorry, my bad. Okay, well, maybe try to put it in the front, right?" He said that before, but since Jamal said it, he's like, "Oh, okay, look, you're supposed to put it there, okay? Wow." So he kind of already suspected him of being a troll, which then begs the question: why did he mod him if he suspected him of being a troll? Which is why he didn't put him in the Discord. So why are you modding people that you think are trolls? He's very smart, guys. Just don't think about
Just
it.
so you know.
Just so you know.
I got to unmod him, but I can't because Kick sucks. 50, 60 accounts. It's not a big deal. Like, I don't care.
I don't care.
And then, oh my God.
Oh man, the
What
cuck
a
has
fucking
returned.
idiot. He decided, well, tonight he asked to be on the Discord, which I said, well, let's talk about that at a future date. Let's not talk about it now live on stream. And now he unbans a bunch of troll accounts, which obviously, did he ban you, Iron Chef Sakai?
He should ban him.
Who is he
Why
banning?
not?
Is that what the chat arc targeted a few people and
Well,
banned?
what if he banned him because he was banned before and you were like, hey, I don't want you here. Oh man. Okay, I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. It was a good one. It was a solid video. We had a nice little mini political segment that I don't think was too offensive. It was fine. You know, I played in my new song. And it was great. I got the coin in the Cherokee, so it's gonna be my year. It's my time for resurgence, guys. I'm gonna be cool again. For sure, for reals. And I'm gonna be streaming the DSP awards in the coming week, I guess, or whenever I feel like doing it. But regardless, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And you know, I also want to make this I'm gonna talk about this for a bit because as I was setting up on my video yesterday, at least, you notice I have this little guy up here, and I have a whole stack of all these little drawings I've done on my previous old streams, and I used to call these things a viewer canvas, where people would I think it was tip, but they also like said, oh, you could super chat, you could cheer, whatever, and I'll add to the canvas. And I started to like realize I kind of miss doing viewers canvas in my videos or just on my streams or whatever. And I do think that maybe the reason why this like no one like cared for this is because I would interrupt the videos or the stream that I'm doing or whatever, and maybe, you know, people didn't like that, and I didn't know what to do to deal with that, but I think I got a good solution. So I do want to do viewers canvas again. I love doing them because it's a fun little thing to see how many characters I can add. It was a fun drawing prompt. So I think what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna start in the next stream, why not? If you contribute super chat, tip, whatever, $2, you can request a character to be put on a new viewers canvas. I might even think of putting a bigger drawing pad. I'm debating that. I don't know yet, because I think I still have some empty pages on this one, but this is almost empty as well. So there's that. So I'll do that. But I won't draw it during the stream or whatever. I mean, I'll stream drawing it, but that's not in the middle of like if I'm reacting to a DSP video or whatever, or playing a game. I won't stop what I'm doing to do this. What I will do is I'll keep like a lag of all of the characters that get requested, and then draw them at the end of the video, or if I'm wrapping up playing a game or whatever. And just before I end the stream, I will draw the character on the canvas. I think that's a better way to do it because it's like a credits thing. And on top of that, I will put the username or whatever name you like, whatever. I'll just put the person's name, just the username. If you don't know if your tip will, just put your username, whatever, and I'll put it next to the character. That way you also get nice little recognition that way. I'll see where I can like fit it on in the drawing. So I'll add that all to the viewers canvas as well. So that's what I'm gonna do moving forward on the next stream. So if you guys want to do this, you can. You don't have to. It's not required, obviously, but if you want to, you can. So the viewers canvas is coming back. I miss doing them, so I'm gonna do it again. But thanks for watching the video. Thanks for a great start for 2025. I'll try to stream a little more frequently, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye. Actually, no, fuck that. Fuck that. I can't believe I ended like that. No, fuck that shit. Bye everybody, and as always, I think you should be able to hear this. As always,
Time to skedaddle on
it's
out
time
here.
to get out of here. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your week, and have a good time. Bye.